ICT in South Africa is an exceptionally exciting environment, an exciting business environment to operate in at the moment. We've seen obviously a lack of the provision of infrastructure and services in the general ICT sector in South Africa over the past many years. Over the past year, we've started to see a substantial amount of interest coming out of areas like India and China to get involved in South Africa and even on a broader scale use that as a footprint and a catapult into the rest of Africa. What we are finding is that the innovation that comes out of South Africa can stand and compete on a global level. We need to deal with challenges like the lack of bandwidth, like the lack of connectivity, like the lack of skill set. If you look at what happened in the early days with the way, with what companies expected from the provider of ICT services compared to what they expect now, it constantly changes. So innovation is key, and companies, in order to not just keep ahead of a competitor, but just to keep up, they have to constantly change and innovate. And any company serious about doing business is looking at IT and technology and communications. The predictions for me for 2010 is we will see a continued shift towards the day-to-day services that aren't unique to any one industry being shifted to being provided over the internet. So no hardware, no software, no implementation, so purely pay-per-use software. So the day-to-day and commoditized services will be like that. We'll obviously see a rapid and continued decrease in the cost of bandwidth is going to come down. We'll see a rapid and increased continued pressure on the cost of phone calls, and, from telecom and the providers of bandwidth. I think we'll also see a rapid increase in South African companies trying to penetrate the rest of Africa.